Hello everyone, welcome to my bold and beautiful Gossip Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thomas's return destroys Sheila's arrangement to push Trust and Finn together. The intense and the delightful uncover that Sheila Carter will be satisfied when Trust Logan consents to go to her impending wedding to Minister Sharp. Trust will likewise pass along Minister's solicitation for John Finnegan to be his best man, so Finn will presumably jump aboard eventually. When Finn and Trust are exceptional wedding visitors very much like at the Remembrance Administration, Sheila might understand Trust is who her child ought to be with. We could see Sheila play Cupid and depend on desire to be a trade for Steffy Forrester in Finn's life. Be that as it may, there's somebody who could ultimately return and ruin Sheila's arrangement. While Finn's developing nearer to Trust and it seems as though the plot could work, Thomas Forrester might get back to Los Angeles. Douglas Forrester is now missing expectation in light of Edge Forrester's updates following his Paris visit. Thomas most likely won't have any desire to get Douglas far from expectation for a really long time. Furthermore, Thomas might be longing for Trust and questioning if leaving her was actually the ideal choice. Trust and Thomas would in any case be content at the present time on the off chance that Thomas hadn't been so stuck on the marriage issue. Eventually, Thomas could home and concede he misses what he imparted to Trust. Maybe Thomas will contemplate whether there's a possibility getting it back, regardless of a marriage endorsement. Thomas could likewise need to beware of Steffy in person once he hears the report pretty much this Sheila confusion. It could leave Thomas feeling defensive of Steffy as well as Trust, particularly since Minister's pushing his little girl to acknowledge Sheila. Sheila could wind up seething assuming that Thomas returns and takes Trust's consideration away from Finn. It could obstruct Sheila's arrangement to make Trust the new lady in Finn's life, so she could make an exceptional move to dispose of Thomas for good. Our B&B expectations hint that Sheila's hazardous side may not remain covered for a really long time, so miss no unsafe plans that may be in progress. The striking and the lovely spoilers say Sheila will definitely get dependent upon her old deceives in the future, so remain tuned to the CBS cleanser. Battle for Finn's consideration, Sheila needs to go, Steffy feels insignificant. The strong and the lovely show that the contention with Lee Finnegan and Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, is by all accounts not even close to finished. Will John Finnegan need to pick between his moms? The Forresters need Sheila gone once more. For what reason does Steffy Forrester feel so immaterial to Finn? Sheila Carter and Lee Finnegan reached boiling point. The intense and the delightful spoilers uncover that when Sheila uncovered herself to Lee, she was gone after. Lee doesn't need Sheila remotely close to Finn and, surprisingly, took steps to kill her. All things considered, Sheila should be dead as of now, who will miss her on the off chance that she vanishes once more. Lee can't take any longer. Sheila is fed up with being moved around by Lee and won't represent it. Sheila feels that she has privileges. Sheila is Finn's introduction to the world more and he rehashed save her life. Finn has conceded that he needs a relationship with Sheila and that's what Lee must figure out. Will Finn be compelled to leave Lee due to Sheila? Once more, B&B the Forresters need Sheila gone. Trust Logan has at last broken through to Edge Forrester and Liam Spencer that Sheila is perfectly healthy. Tragically, the two of them turned on Finn asking why he accepts Sheila and why he doesn't need to get rid of her. How has Sheila at any point helped him? Trust attempted to make sense of that. Finn trusts Sheila to be a casualty in this present circumstance and he really accepts she has changed. All things considered, Sheila was secured and nearly kicked the bucket for shielding Steffy and the children. The striking and the delightful spoilers, battle for Finn's consideration, Sheila needs to go, Steffy feels unimportant. For what reason might Finn not be glad that his introduction to the world at any point mother is alive and get an opportunity to get to know her? The striking and the wonderful spoilers, for what reason does Steffy Forrester feel superfluous? Finn has gotten back home to Steffy and is basically jubilant that Sheila is alive. Finn likewise lets Steffy know that she could at last move on now that he realizes she didn't kill his mom. Steffy appears to be totally confused by Finn's activities. Finn is talking like they are a family and Sheila is their matron. Steffy is appalled that she killed somebody in her home, however the way that it wasn't Sheila isn't settling great by any means. Steffi had recently become acclimated to Sheila being out of their lives, and presently she is back in the entirety of her unholy magnificence. How might Finn pick Sheila over her? Where does this leave their marriage? Steffi has to deal with murder penalties. The Strong and the Delightful, B&B, spoilers uncovered that Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, can confront murder changes. She understood that Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, is as yet alive. This implies that Steffi killed another person that evening. Continue to peruse to find out more. B&B spoilers, Steffi gets severe shock. The Striking and the Delightful spoilers propose Steffi Forrester is in for a severe shock. Her significant other John of Finnegan, leather expert Novlin, is a horrible narrator. He referenced that something mind-blowing that happened to him. He has a more inspirational perspective on his future as a result of it. Finn let Steffi know that it had something to do with sugar. Much to her dismay, it didn't have anything to do with desserts or sweet adoring. Steffi cherished seeing this side of Finn. She requested that he share what occurred. Finn shared the news that she didn't kill his mother that evening. Steffi killed a lady named Sugar, Kimberlyn Brown, who pursued their loved ones. Sugar almost left Sheila for dead in a stockroom. Finn reviewed that he saved Sheila's life. He helped Minister Sharp, Sean Cannon, look for Sheila. The Striking and the Delightful spoilers propose Steffi is delayed at taking in this data. Yet, she could fault Finn for that. She gets the shock of her life during the Friday, May 10th cliffhanger. Steffi understands that Sheila Carter is as yet alive. This is an insult for the sovereign honeybee of Los Angeles. She's likewise stunned that her significant other is glad to such an extent that his mother is as yet alive. Realizing that his introduction to the world mother was as yet alive transformed him. It could change his better half's life in the most terrible manner. The Intense and the Lovely spoilers, Steffi has to deal with murder penalties. The Striking and the Delightful spoilers, Steffi has to deal with murder penalties. As indicated by the Intense and the Wonderful spoilers, Steffi could have to deal with murder penalties. She killed an honest lady, regardless of whether that lady needed to nail this assault to Sheila. This was raised on the SoapCentral.com message sheets. The Client Soap Pro stated, Steffi killed a lady in her home that didn't have a weapon. She can say self-preservation, however they can undoubtedly bend it to essentially murder. B&B fans took to the string to share their considerations. Some feel a little doubtful about Steffi pulling off the self-preservation excuse. Others contended that Steffi wouldn't have to deal with murder penalties since the lady seemed to be Sheila. Doesn't make any difference what its identity was. She entered her home without consent. It's intruding, one fan contended. A particular way they outline this will in any case be self-preservation, another client noted. What do you honestly think? Do you concur that Steffi will have to deal with murder penalties? How about she pull off the self-preservation excuse? Sound off beneath in the remark area. Today on Intense and the Lovely, Elder takes Sheila to the clinic, Finn clears up the sugar story for Steffi, and Liam and Edge are stunned by everything Trust says to them. Wednesday's initial B&B recap, Sheila consented to wed Elder as Finn dashed home and told Steffi he had phenomenal news. In the Precipice house, Steffi asks Finn what the fantastic news is. She's never seen him so energized. Sheila asks why Finn's so blissful. CBS. He says she will have a hard time believing it. Everything starts with Sugar, he says. She's befuddled. He makes sense of Sugar is an individual. Blissful kid Finn. CBS. Steffi is as yet befuddled, so he inspires her to plunk down and makes sense of that this is difficult to accept, yet it's genuine.